Hello, my name is John from Coffee Talk and Tech, and today we're going to be taking a look at Maono's new Maonocaster, the Maonocaster C2 Neo. And you're listening to me on the Maonocaster using an out-of-shot condenser mic with 48 volts phantom power. And we're going to take a look at the plus and minuses of this unit, and some of the things that they want to stress the most is that now we have a separate volume for headphones and mic gain, and we can self-monitor our mic or not by the touch of one button. So we're going to take a look at that. And the other big thing is that this is supposedly giving you 60 dB of gain. So we should be able to run perhaps even the SM7B with this, and that's what we'll do. We'll test the Shure SM7B and go over the ins and outs and the plus and minuses of this audio interface. So let's get into it right now. So right now you're listening to me on my Rode T1 condenser mic, and this is what this audio interface sounds like. So I'm using absolutely no processing at all right now. So my air conditioning's running, my computer's very close, and this is what you may or may not hear. And let's get into going over the ins and outs of this audio interface. Grab a hold of this and just take a little look. And the backside is pretty much easy to go over because it's simply a power button right there. This is a power for a USB-C input, and this is your USB-C input for your computer. This is your line out 3.5 jack. This is your headphones, your auxiliary, so if you want to plug in phone or another object to bring in music. And here's your mic input, which this is an XLR. It's as simple as that. There isn't anything on the front of this audio interface. And then we could simply go into your mic gain, and this is your slider right here for the mic gain. And then this is your mic levels. Now, the only thing I could say is the mic levels always don't exactly match what I have going out, because I feel like you look at this mic level, it's low compared to how I have it set in my software. And then you have this auxiliary volume. This big knob is what controls going out to the output overall. So if I'm pulling in audio from my computer and going out, this would control the volume that's going out. And then this is the output, which again doesn't always match up perfect, so you got to really test and listen. And this is your headphones volume. And then we'll simply go over each one of these. This is 48 volts phantom power. That's your Bluetooth. So right here is your reverb button, and this is what it sounds like when you hit the karaoke mode. And then let's go to the next one. And they call this the church mode reverb. This is the hall reverb sound. This is what they call the valley reverb sound. And this is what they call the room reverb sound. And now we're back to original. So that's it for that. Those are the reverb presets. And then we'll go over to the direct monitoring button. So right now I'm listening to myself in my headphones, and here's the volume for the headphones. Now if I turn this button to off, it says to me in my headphones monitoring off, and then I don't hear myself anymore. And then I push this again, then it comes back again. And then I do a long hold on this button, and then it says loop back on or loop back off, and you can see it changes color. So if I'm going to play anything from my computer, this would allow me to bring in sound from my computer. And I long hold this, and then it will say loop back off or loop back on, and then it would turn that off or on. And that's just a long hold. And then you have your pitch presets. So let's go through those. I'll push the button one time to start the first preset, and
This is what they call the female pitch. Does it sound female?
And this is the male sound, which, mine wasn't good enough, so I have to use this pitch to sound manly.
And this is what they call the baby pitch. So my wife would probably say I should play this all the time because I'm a big baby.
this is the robot sound, but it's like a monster robot. I don't know, you let me know. I don't know if you would use these at all, but it's pretty cool it's here. And then we go back
to the default sound. So that's all those pitch sounds by a push of a button. Now I could only say that the problem is here is that I have to push a button to get to that pitch sound. So if I want like the third pitch sound or the baby, then I'd have to push this 3 times. I don't know. Let's try that.
I pushed it 3 times and it took me to the baby. So it's not that bad. It's pretty easy because as I push
each button, it will go to
the next one. And so, and as it goes to the next one, it says it in your ears. So it's not horrible. And then we have what's called the noise reducer. And I haven't used this at all on anything that I have so far, but let's push this on noise reduction 1. That's the low version. So let's keep quiet for a second so you can hear it. Okay. And then now let's go to the next one, which is going to be noise reduction number 2. And so I'm going to push that right now and you can listen to how the noise reduction 2 sounds. So this is noise cancellation high. And you'll notice that it will cut me out a lot. And so I'd have to speak very loud if I didn't expect this to cut me out. But if I talk low, you could see that part of my words are missing. So I don't know exactly if you would use this that often. So let's turn it off. Now the noise cancellation's off. Let me keep quiet for a second so you can hear the background noise. And now I want to show you with noise reduction 1 more time. Listen right now, it's nothing. This is noise cancellation low. Now listen to the background. So it does a pretty good job with that. So I'm going to leave that on for the rest of this little recording right now. And let's take a look at the next item that we have, because we have 3 buttons that you can have recordings on. And so I did a simple thing like this, just having some fun. What's up, good people? John Ryan here. Thanks for coming to see me on Coffee, Talk, and Tech. Shots fired. So it's an easy thing to just record things like that. And all you have to do is I have nothing on this. So let's just record something. So I'm going to hold this down. You're going to see it blink a bunch of times. And then right after that, it just blinks once and then you can record. Hi, what's going on? Thank you for coming and watching this video. And then I push the button and it stops. Now I should have that recording there. Hi, what's going on? Thank you for coming and watching this video. And there you go. It's simple as that. So you could see that so far, it's really simplistic, the things we're looking at as far as having overall control. And I know that you don't think it's really that big of a deal, but having the self-monitoring is the big deal. So the big question is how bad is the latency? I'm listening to it right now with the latency that I have, and there is a slight bit of a latency, but it is right just to the acceptable amount. So it doesn't drive me crazy listening to a little slight delay. So I'm not hearing myself quite double at all. It's just a slight little delay that it just makes this still usable. And I think that other units weren't usable because that would be too much. That was the killer point. So you could have all these positive things, but if you're like a live streamer or someone that's, doing a lot of self-listening as you have to record, that is going to be a problem. And I can say that this unit is acceptable, and that is huge. So I want to thank Maono for listening to some of the people and taking the positive feedback and making these types of things possible. So now the only thing I want to show you back on to this unit is, so the thing is about this big button that I find odd is that this is my mic volume, but when I turn this down, okay, it turns my mic down. So let's turn this down. And now I can see I see the mic still going as far as in the unit here, right? I still see it, but in my software, it's not. And I'm not really sure why. So no matter what, I don't know why this big knob is controlling my mic at all. This should be totally just from my mic volume and gain. This knob should only have to do when I have loopback on. So when I have loopback on, that should control my USB input coming from my PC, but it shouldn't directly affect my mic. So I would say that's the only thing that I could say that is like a little bothersome with that. Otherwise, I think most of everything works well. And it took me a second to figure out exactly what was going on and why that was being affected with the volume and the gain control, because this is my gain right here. That should be the only thing, plus this slider that controls my mic. This shouldn't have anything to do with it. That's only the output to the USB, which should only be engaged if I have loopback engaged, because that's pulling the audio from my PC. And then this auxiliary in the back would be volume for input coming in, like Bluetooth, etc., like that. So we see how the headphones is the only thing that I didn't show you, which is right here. And I could say that I tell you, it does a good job overall for the headphones. I mean, is it a little bit noisy? Yeah, the headphone, amp is maybe a tiny bit noisy, but nothing terrible. All right, so now I'm coming back on the SM7B, and I am using one of the most power-hungry mics that are out there. The SM7B takes about 62 dB of gain to use, and we know that Maono gives us 60 dB in this newer Maonocaster, and I do have the gain maxed out totally, and this is what it sounds like using the SM7B, and I feel like it's usable. But if in post I feel like it needs a little boost, I'll put that right down below right here of how much I boosted it. And I want to get back to the Maonocaster and show you a couple other features. I want to show you the phone plugged into an aux cable. Okay, and this comes with the unit, the cable, and I have it plugged into my phone with we see the dongle right here plugged into my phone. And I am going to play a video really quick. Both of these mics are built of metal construction from the screen and the body of the mic. We can see, you can hear this video loud and clear. Overall, no problem. Really good for this price point. These are budget mics. But now I'm going to play a little music review on both of these, see what's in the box. So now let's play a little music, and let's go to Epidemic. I have a account with them, and let's play a little music. So now we're going to use the sidechain button on here. Let's hit that sidechain and see what it does. Sidechain on. So now when I speak in here with playing some music, it cuts it out and lets me be in the forefront with my voice. And then it brings it back up as soon as I stop talking. And it really works well. So let me not talk for a second and watch. So that's what sidechain does. So now as I talk a little bit, it cuts it down and you can hear what I'm saying. I feel like a professional DJ perhaps, So that's what that sidechain's doing, and that's really helpful, right? Okay, so let's turn the sidechain off and turn this music down. So if I'm going to do that, it's one push of a button. And then I go right up to the aux, and I could just bring that down. So now I have nothing playing on the background, or I could just have it running low just like that. So then the next thing I want to do is, okay, so what I want to do is show you how the loopback button works. So let's go back to the unit. Here is the direct monitor. We long hold that, which turns on loopback. You see it changes a different color. Now, if I play a video from my computer. I think just people look at specs, and now you can hear it. Look at. But then after they looked at their footage and their photography, and so now I control it with this button here, the aux. Of a camera that really was. So I had bought that, and my wife was using it for the business. So let's listen for a bit. Recently sold it. So now I'm turning it down. Pretty well with the sale. You can get. So I'm using that aux button to turn it all the way down. And then I could turn this all the way up. Because the problem is, if I use this button, if I use this big button here, this is our only that turns down my mic also. So watch, my mic will just, you won't be able to hear it. So there's nothing there. So that's the only thing that I really see, again, is a downfall, is why is that tied in with my mic when I have a separate volume for my mic only, and this should just be for maybe like an aux or a USB connection. So let's stop that. That's how Loopback works. If I want to not have anything come in from my computer at all I gotta do is hold down this direct monitoring again, Loopback off, it tells me, and then that's it. It doesn't have anything coming in from the side at all from the USB bus. Simple as that. So I'm gonna go back to Epidemic, and we're going to play a song, but we're going to play this song from my Bluetooth, from my phone. So let's go into here. You see no wires attached. Let's hit that same song again. All right. It looks like it's connected. I hear the music in my headphones. And let's see if I can turn it up with the aux button again. Yes. All right. That's working. So I have my phone down. Now let's see if that side chain works again. So let's hit the side chain. Side chain on, and the music cuts out. I love it. It's really good. I tell you, for $50 again, this is definitely worth the money for a beginner. Definitely. For a guy who's starting out and have all these options, it's pretty decent. I can't complain. Especially if you're streaming, that was like one of the biggest things, to have separate music to be able to come in and to be able to play it in the background when you're starting up. It's great. Okay, so that's all I did was push this button for Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth was engaged. I went to my phone, I paired it to my phone. It was really simple, and it worked like it was supposed to. So now you're hearing Epidemic. If you don't know what Epidemic is, it is a music service that has copyright-free music that you pay monthly, so you don't get copyrighted on YouTube. It's useful. And I use it all the time. All right, I think we've gone over everything we need to. I'm going to turn this side chain off. And then I'm going to turn this music down. And now you can't hear it, even if it's running. It's still just like you can't hear it at all, and that's good. So now we've gone over everything that we need to go over on this Maonocaster, and you can see how useful it is. You know, you have everything to need to get started to do a podcast or a live stream, to be able to pull in separate music with a wire attached that they give you to your phone, but you just need a dongle to go USB-C. Or you could do it Bluetooth, and it worked perfectly. And now I'm running an SM7B, so you can run your dynamic mics, and you can run your condenser mics, and you'll have enough power to run anything that you may need and play your music and have your sound effects. What I didn't mention is that it's also battery powered. So right now, when you look at the back of this though, I have it plugged in with the extra power. Right? So it's got the USB bus going to the computer and then the extra power. And I think it's really good to have the extra power plug plugged in, because then it's giving full power to this to run maybe a dynamic mic. I just think it's a safe thing to do as you're running those power hungry mics. But I can unplug this and use this totally wireless. So if you had like your phone and maybe you were going live to, let's just say, I don't know, Instagram, or you were going live to say like TikTok, you can use a whole mic setup with your phone plugged in and be able to use it. So, you know, there's just a lot of things you could do possibly with this, and I think it's going to be useful for a lot of people. So I think overall, Maono did a great job at giving people something, a versatile tool for people to get started with live streaming, podcasting, and everyday recording like I'm doing right now. And so I hope you found this really informative. And if there's anything that, you know, I might have skipped or went over, let me know, and I can answer that question for you. So thank you for watching Coffee Talk and Tech, and I'll catch you on the next video.